Hello, everyone. Welcome to Heart Centered Tarot. As always, my name is Marina, and I will be your guide for this portion of the journey. And please join me in welcoming my wonderful co-host, Cleo of Cleo The Seer, for
Hi.
Kitchen Table Issues.
Yay.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. Looking forward to this since there's
Yes,
really nothing happening.
I
Um,
know. I
I
know.
hope I hope we can find something to talk about.
It's dead out there. Yeah, when I went to go check the news, it said, don't bother. There's nothing. So, yes.
Oh, God.
So, welcome. We've got the fabulous folks who have joined us, and some of them are lurking, and that's okay. You're allowed to do that. If you just kind of want to listen, you're more than welcome to do that. I will ask you, however, to please remember to like, share, and subscribe to not only my channel, but to Cleo's channel as well.
Yeah.
And the information on her channel is down in the description of the video. So make sure that you click on there. So just going to say quickly hello to Becky Stone, Old Windwalker, Dr. Patrick Duncan, hello, Janice Outdated, Maureen D'Amico, Kathleen Bourgeois, Artist Liz, Dibs BK, Manx Girl, Virgo on Fire, Philip Ehrman, Barb Fister. Scrolling up. Okay, I think, yeah, I hope I haven't missed anyone. Um, yeah, so thank you for joining us. And I think I think Patrick said he's going to stay as long as he can. Well, yeah, you're more than welcome. More than welcome. Oh no, sorry, that was Philip. Philip Erman, who says, hello all, I will stay as long as I can. Well, the fact that you're here now, that works. That works. So, what's been happening on your end? What have you been up to the last
Well,
week or so?
one thing I did want to mention was this thing with Savannah Guthrie and her mother, who has
Yes.
still not been found, and it's just not looking very good. And I just hope that everybody's sending out some positive prayers and hope for a quick recovery and hope that she is okay. It's going on too long without her medication, and it just sounds to me they keep getting different little things about maybe she was that there's been ransom asked for and stuff. There hasn't. They don't really have any clue yet who might have done this. And they've also, at one point, I guess there was some article out there that talked about the son-in-law. Well, all the son-in-law did is their mother had come to dinner at their house, and he took her home and made sure that everything was locked up tight and that she was in there okay. And this was the night before she disappeared. And so, no, as far as they can tell, no, he's got nothing to do with it. And some of the things that are coming up, I guess somebody tried to say that they wanted millions of dollars in crypto coins, and that
Yes.
this, and that
Bitcoin.
ended up being a big lie and a big hoax, and that person's in big trouble. But anyway, I mean, it's just really a sad thing, and it's really been on my mind that what they're going through, and I'm just hoping that this will come out for the best. But God, the longer it goes on, it does not feel good.
Yeah, I know. One of the things that I heard earlier when the sheriff was talking and kind of just giving people an update, one of the things that they mentioned was a little bit of a timeline in terms of she was dropped off at 9:48 p.m. At 9:50, the garage door closed. And then later on, the outside camera was turned off. It stopped recording, and there was internally the security camera could pick up some motion, and then at some point after all that, her pacemaker went offline.
Wow.
So again, these are all things that, you know, we can speculate, we can guess. At this point, hope, prepare for the worst, hope for the best.
Yeah.
Know that that family is going to need an awful lot of support, and yeah, send them white love, white light, send them love, send them compassion, whatever it is that they might need.
And apparently even the president, Trump, talked to Savannah, and he's sending he's sending, law enforcement to help with the situation, and I just thought, it's just amazing when he does something decent. And I'm glad he did that. And speaking of Trump, he's now opened up, or I guess it's opening up tonight, is the Trump drugstore. Trump drugs that is supposed to be cheaper. And one of the things they keep talking about is drugs like Ozempic,
Yeah.
which cost, I guess it costs around $1,000 a month. And he says it's going to be 199. And then there's all these other drugs like Ozempic, uh,
Yes.
that they also are going to be dropped down to 199, even though they might even be more than 1,000. I said one of them went up to like 1,300 or maybe 1,500 and a month. I mean, that's pretty pricey. But anyway,
That that was insulin. Yeah, that was the remember the it was a young guy who took over the company and just skyrocketed the price of insulin.
Oh yeah,
And I
that
think yeah,
happened. And
yeah, and I think he
hopefully,
ended up going to jail for it.
oh yeah, that guy was, yeah, yeah, yes, he did.
That, that,
But what Trump is doing is he's trying to take a lot of the drugs that, the general drugs that a lot of people need, and trying to bring the price down. So we'll just see how it goes. Once again, I'm totally surprised that he's doing anything decent. Um,
yes.
and I mean, I really hope that this works out. I mean, I know that for a friend of mine who has asthma, the inhaler for her asthma went up from, well, for one thing, the insurance company didn't want to pay for it anymore. I
Yeah.
can't remember. It's like 350 for one of these little inhalers, or 600. I mean, it gets just astronomical. So I'm hoping that, for people like her, that the price will come down and they can get it from the government. It's like a government drugstore. And that's something new. But
Well,
I hope it works, and I hope it's
you know
low
what?
cost.
Yeah, they're saying yeah, it's government drugstore. It's where is it? Yeah, artist Liz, sorry, posted. Yeah, Dr. Oz is developing those drugs, and it's through his company. So yeah, Dr. Oz. Um,
Well, I don't
yeah,
think it's I mean, I don't know, but I don't think I didn't get the impression that it was just one little thing going on. It's all that it's an agreement that he has made with all the drug companies, because he's
yes,
talking about a broad range of drugs that are needed, that people are using, like high blood pressure and heart medication and, gout and
yeah. So is this?
arthritis.
Yeah. Does he have the concept of a drugstore, or is it actually someplace that you could go to tomorrow and say, I need, because honestly, Ozempic at $199, you're still paying a lot more than we're paying up here.
Oh, really? Wow. Even
Yeah.
at 199 is a lot more. Well, I don't really know. I don't take any prescription drugs,
Yes.
so I don't really know what's going on with that, but I just thought that what he's trying to do, and I do know a lot of people that are on that Ozempic or something similar,
Yes.
and they are paying a fortune for it. So,
Yes.
no, that from what I understood it to be, it would be like online right now. It's not a brick and mortar place where you can run down to the corner and there's the government drugstore. But that I think right now it's just online, but we'll see.
Listen, if if it's actually real, yes, by all means, give it a try. Give it a try and see what it is. I think that he's panicked in that the, the writing's on the wall, number one, for him health wise. That it's, it what time is it? Um and yeah, and
I
the
love it
fact,
that right now everybody in the chat section, nobody trusts this thing about the new Trump drugs. Nobody is buying it. So
yes.
anyway, what were you
Yes.
saying, Marina? I'm sorry to
Yeah.
interrupt.
No, 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 but it's true, yeah, because I'm reading the comments. Yeah. If Trump's name is on it, then it's cursed. Yes. Yes.
Oh
And
my
yeah, he's
God.
not. Yeah, he didn't realize that, he's closer to transitioning than he would be, living for the next 10, 15 years. So he's going to do all the good things to make things right with God. No, no, no. This is, yeah, these are, send me the list of prescriptions. This is how much money it's going to be. Send me the money and I'll send you the drugs. Like, no, no. How about you send me the drugs and I'll send you the money?
All right.
So, but if it is something that they have put together, it would be wonderful. If it's true, I think that it would be really great. The thing is, we haven't heard too much about it. So, um, you know how he is. He's got to, and he can't keep a secret. So, yeah,
And it does, it changes so fast, but supposedly this is opening up tonight and you're going to all be able to get your medications at a much lower cost. We'll see. Like a fool. I'm so naive sometime. I mean, I guess I was in too good a mood today because I read that and I thought, "Oh, great, he's doing something good."
something.
And
Yes.
now I see everybody over here like, "No, no, let's just see
Yeah.
what really happens."
Yeah. Is it hold on. Yeah, it's tyrannical leadership. It yeah, he wants to make sure that he can be in absolutely every part of your life. Now, I think maybe some of his supporters um are probably going to go online and try to order some of that stuff. But ultimately, where is it coming from? Is it something um, that is coming in from a third world country,
Well,
that
no,
hasn't been properly tested?
I thought it was the regular I silly me thinking that it's above board. That I thought I thought it was coming from the
You're so
companies that make
trusting.
I know, that make Ozempic or that make the other
Yeah.
ones, I don't know. But I just thought it was from regular drug companies that he had made
Yeah.
it sounded like he'd made so supposedly made a deal, made a deal with these drug companies to get it cheaper. No, if it is like from some third world or some off brand or something, uh,
Yes.
no, that would not be good, and people won't want to do that. But
Yeah. And
but
in the meantime, if he's if he is buying the drugs for, 10 cents on the dollar and he's selling it to you for a dollar, as long as he's making money, what does he care if there's side effects or it doesn't work or you get the wrong medication? It was just one of those things.
but
But
it's supposed
uh,
to be government approved if it's going through a government pharmacy. So
mhm, yeah,
I don't
I
know.
know.
I
It,
feel so stupid. So
don't
naive.
no, don't, because that one of the things that I really enjoy about you, Cleo, is that you have such an open heart that it doesn't, your default is to be kind and believe.
Oh, yeah.
And that is, I I find that so charming and so wonderful. Whereas
Thank you.
a lot of people like me would go, ah, wait a minute.
Well, sometimes I
Well,
do that too, but on this score, since I'd kind of heard about it earlier that, he was gonna do this, and then when
yeah,
I read it in black and white and thought that that was probably the truth, it didn't even occur to me. I thought I keep thinking he's doing stuff like this to try to get his, um, poll numbers up. I mean, he's not doing well. People are not happy with him, which, by the way, suddenly today his
yes,
approval rate went up to 50%. I don't buy that. That's gotta be absolute BS because it was down into the 30s of,
yes,
approval rates. And then,
yes,
and I see what he's doing with, Melania and her documentary, and the documentary was a complete flop yesterday or a few days ago.
yes.
Today? Oh, no, 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 it's just hitting the high road. It made $8 million, and that's more than any documentary that ever came out in the world. I mean, but he's trying to kind of
Yeah.
rehabilitate himself, especially, well, just that's what he's trying to do.
Of course he is. That's there's one of the things that I saw on I don't know if it was Midas Touch or someone associated with Midas Touch, where a guy had gone into several theaters that were supposedly showing the Melania movie, and yeah, he went in, and it's like, okay, listen, I've never had a movie theater all to myself. I can sit in way in the front and I could watch it up here. I could sit way in the back. I've never been able to do that. And yet, panning and showing nobody in the theater. And then
Wow.
he
Yeah.
went to another theater that was showing at a different time, obviously. Same thing. Like, you could hear crickets. There's nothing going on. And as he was leaving, he ran into some people who were going into another theater, and he said, "Oh yeah, that Melania movie, it's a flop. Don't go. Don't see it." And these people are laughing. So,
Well, and that's the way it came out on the internet. They were being honest about it, talking about one guy being in the theater. But I knew as soon as I saw that Trump's gonna pull something. And he did. He just got a hold of everybody, and you better turn this thing around. And he's calling Melania a movie star. I'm thinking it's a documentary. No, she's not a movie star, but she is trying to do stuff because I guess she used to be a model of some kind. I don't know if that was a porno model or some other kind of model, but they have that picture of her. She loves wearing that hat. Um, and they
uh-huh,
keep showing that. Um,
yes,
yeah, I mean, I have no idea, but and then um, Amazon or Jeff Bezos or whoever fronted the money for all this,
Amazon.
uh, they were saying just, surprise, surprise, this is really doing great. And then they're also talking about that when it goes to Prime Video, that it'll really go out of this world because Prime Video, you you pay a set fee and then you can watch all the movies you want on Prime Video, because you're a member of Prime. And I'm thinking, "Okay, is
That's
that what
okay,
they're
I'll
waiting for?"
pass.
Yeah, that people might just look at it just to see what is it about, it'll be like, turn it on for a minute and then turn it off. But they can
Yeah,
say anything, you know,
of,
uh,
of
Jeff
course.
Jeff Bezos is gonna say whatever he needs to say to keep his Amazon business going without Trump constantly interfering in it. Um, and so, but no, this Melania thing, it just cracks me up. what a mess,
I
that
know.
she
I
comes
know,
out
and
with this.
she was, yeah, apparently she had negotiated the release of a couple hostages, and she had the hostages at the White House, and talking to the press and in front of the press about she did this and she did that, and how yeah, when she was involved in all this, and well, you could see the meeting, and you could see the pictures, or um, watch the recording, and it's in my movie Melania, and so she's advertising through the White House to
Oh,
um,
that's right. I did see a little blurb about that. I didn't have a chance to
yes.
read it, but yes, yes.
Yes. And so someone in the press called her out on it, that, you're doing that.
Uh,
No, I am here for the victims. I am here for the survivor. I don't, like, bitch, you just tried to tell people if they want to see how this negotiation went to go see your movie. Like, come on, come on. Yeah. So, yeah. And yeah, she was part of what came out um, in the dump of the Epstein file, the 3 million things or whatever, was confirmation that she had that it was Epstein who introduced her to Trump, and that she worked for Epstein. So
oh, oh. I
yeah,
didn't know she worked for Epstein. Oh,
imagine that. Yeah, and
wow.
she apparently, even with the quote unquote modeling, um, she did that without the proper paperwork when she came to the US. I
Huh.
know, it's horrifying. She should be sent back,
Who
you
could
know?
ever imagine all that kind of stuff going on?
Yeah,
Fergie, poor Fergie, she kind of stuck her foot in the mouth with this thing with Epstein, and it doesn't look very good for her either. But yeah, there is a bunch of pictures with Melania and Donald Trump together with Epstein,
yes,
and yeah, no,
yes,
there's so much dirt going on there. I can't. I've tried to read a little bit of it, and I thought, no, I'm just going to wait till somebody else finds the good stuff
I know.
because it is so
Yeah,
long. But I did write down that Trump is mentioned at least so far because they've brought out all this new stuff. Uh, 5,300 times
yes,
in the files. And I'm like, and you when you look at Trump, he's like, yeah, look, we need to get off of this. This is
yes,
this is old news, and I didn't do anything wrong, and it was obvious. It's obvious I didn't. I'm thinking, you're mentioned 5,300 times. That's like that's like as many lies as you've told just this year, and and now your
yes.
name comes up in the Epstein files, and you're telling us you didn't do anything? Well, then
No,
there is.
didn't know the guy. Didn't know the guy. And yeah, I mean, when nobody talked about him when he was alive. It's yeah, now that he's dead, everybody's talking about him. And that was, the country needs to get over that. Like, it isn't a time that to move on from
Well,
that.
in some of those things where he's mentioned 5,300 times, a lot of it has to do with something called sexual assault in
Yes.
connection with Donald Trump, and he's saying he didn't do anything wrong. And I'm thinking,
Yep.
okay, it's just words that connect
Mhm.
him to sexual assault. I think there's something
Yeah.
wrong with that.
Yes,
So,
absolutely.
yes,
Yeah.
there's
And I had when Cleo and I were talking about this before the show, and I said it was funny because when last night my son was telling me about Trump being mentioned 5,300 times in the Epstein files, and he said that's more times than Jesus is mentioned in the Bible. So whether that's true or not, but yeah. So,
Yeah, it probably is true. I mean,
yeah.
and for him to just continually saying, "No, let's not talk about that," and but I do think that there's some people, the normal, actually almost normal people. I mean, they're involved in politics and they're involved in the House and they're involved in the Senate. But some of those people that aren't just even Democrat or Republicans, there's Democrats, obviously, they seem to understand that this is wrong. The Republicans still support their king, and but some of them are getting they're not
Yes.
they can't look themselves in the mirror and still support somebody that's it just keeps coming up over and over again of the things he's done, that he has no respect for women, that that he raped somebody in a dressing room in a department store in New York,
Yes.
um, that he claims that absolutely not, he didn't do that. And a
Yes.
bunch of people I don't know, I think it is in the files about what he did to certain women that were underage. He did
Yes.
the same thing to them that he did to E. Jean Carroll, and I don't wanna go into the details of that because we already know what that is, and, but these were little girls. These were, like, 13, 14 years old, and I'm like, "Yeah, no, you
Yeah.
did something very wrong, and you would like to shut it up," but instead,
Exactly.
he just takes off and does what he wants.
Yeah. And don't listen to that. It's all fake news. It's all I did nothing. I did nothing. Well, it's amazing that so many people, talk about you. And and if this is a democratic hoax, why is so much information in those files redacted?
They're only trying to protect the innocent or protect the victims.
The
That's
victim.
their story on that, and
Yeah.
that's I am sure they're just gonna stick with that, but,
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, there's just too much stuff, and it's not just from the Epstein files. He has a regular history of being
He said it himself. We heard him. When you're rich, yeah, you just grab them by the you know
and
what,
you
because
can get away with it. They
yes,
like the women are just like pieces of meat out there, and and they're loving
yes,
it like, "Oh yeah, grab me, grab me." I'm thinking,
yeah. Please, please,
there's no
please, Donald. Yeah.
there's nobody that
Oh,
acts that way, and
I know.
but so he would like to move on and talk about what is he talking about right now? Oh,
Well,
he's talking about the economy doing so well. If he didn't continually lie about every single thing,
yes,
the economy is not doing well, and um, the jobs suddenly have plummeted, and
yes,
that's what I just read today. So I don't know. I don't know where he's going with this. He just keeps thinking if he keeps saying it, we'll buy it. Well, we can't do that because you go to the store and you know the difference. I mean,
yes,
just overnight, things go up 50 cents, a dollar and a half,
yes,
$3. I mean, just little by little by little
yes,
to where
yeah,
no matter what you buy, you gotta spend like 20 bucks for something. Pretty soon a loaf of bread will be 20 bucks. You
yes,
know?
absolutely, absolutely. And we were watching last night the an ICE agent who was out of uniform stopped off to gas up his vehicle, and there was um, a lawyer who recognized him as being an ICE agent and was recording him. Okay, and this ICE agent kind of got out of hand and got a little physical. Well, one of the things that the guy captured with his camera was the price of gas was, I think, $3.19 or something along that. And Chris said, 3.19? What the hell? Didn't Trump just say the gas was down to $1.99? So It,
So the
y-
guy, that person missed the whole point of the video, but
yeah, yeah.
well, and they're
Uh,
saying that they're gonna take some of the troops out of, uh, where are they at? Minnesota? Is that where
Minnesota, yeah.
the big problem's at? So, yeah, they're taking some of the troops back, 700 or 750 or something, and I'm thinking, "Well, yeah, but isn't there about a couple thousand?" Well, yes, there is. There's a little bit more than that. And Trump said,
Yes.
"Well, we might have to soften up a little bit," but he said, "Not too much because we're dealing with criminals."
Yeah,
We have yet to see who is the criminals.
exactly. Exactly. Not,
Fortunately, that one guy with his little boy that they took
yes,
to, uh,
Texas.
they took to Texas, okay, did get released finally, and they get to
Did
go
they?
home.
Oh,
Yeah.
ah, okay. Well, at least
So
they
one
got
one
rid of.
person, but that was so sad to do all that, and what he's doing is so sad. Um,
Yes.
and I think that people are just more and more, we're just not buying the lies. We're seeing things that it's horrifying to see what they're doing to human beings on the planet here. That
Yes.
whether they're, and it doesn't matter. It seems like more and more we keep hearing about these people haven't done anything. They are actually citizens of the United States.
Yes.
They've shown their papers and all that, and it didn't make any
Yes.
difference. Um,
Yeah. They're
and
they're following the law. They are the ones that are, well, they're not the criminals. Let's put it that way. Is, the people that show up with the masks are the criminals, and in the things that they're doing and so on. I did on I saw some posts, and I think that it was on Reddit, but I'm not sure, where some of these newly hired ICE agents are complaining that they've been on the job for a month and haven't been paid yet. That they were supposed to have medical coverage on day one, and it's not come through. They don't have medical coverage. And that there was one who talked about the signing bonus or something, and I think he said was like a $10,000 signing bonus, which they took tax off, and rather than give him a separate check for the signing bonus, they added it to his paycheck, which took off even more tax. So, he said, yeah, at the end of the day, that, $10,000 signing bonus worked out to be $4,100.
so, they're having problems with the budget, and they're trying,
Yeah.
in Washington, D.C., they're trying to put the budget together. And I was just reading that they have, the Democrats don't want to support Homeland Security. And so the article I read, they were complaining about, well, if we don't get the money, we won't have Homeland Security. And I kept rereading it thinking, yes, this is what we want. We don't want these people around. We
Yes.
don't need these people in every city.
Yes.
Uh,
Exactly.
and really,
Yeah.
who would have thought that would happen? They didn't
Yeah.
get
I
paid.
know. I know.
And
Shocking.
part of the thing that, there was a $50,000 bonus for people that signed up and worked for them for, several years. Like, I think you have to be there for, like, 4 years before you ever see any part of that $50,000. So,
Yeah.
and as far as, medical expenses and insurance,
Yes.
please, I don't know what's going on. So that they're not getting paid. I'm thinking, "Good. I hope they're
Yes.
not, because then they'll have to go get a job somewhere else where they're not just traumatizing people and jerking people out of their cars and their houses and putting them in concentration
Yes.
camps." That, it's time for these people to go. And I mean, all
Mhm.
the protests, particularly in Seattle, they're just saying, "No ICE. No, get rid of them. We don't want, not in
Exactly.
our city, not anywhere." So it's just a matter, hopefully this works. I love it that they actually said, "If they don't pass this budget and give them more money for Homeland Security, we're not gonna have it," and we're supposed to be threatened by that? Oh my
Yeah,
god.
exactly.
Oh my god, we're not gonna have it. They're not gonna be there to beat up
Oh,
people and, arrest them illegally and give them no chance to, yeah, it
yeah,
the total everything they're doing is totally illegal. So,
exactly. Yeah, exactly. So and no, I think in that the fact that yeah, that these people are not being paid, the fact that they're not getting their benefits, the fact that they're not getting their bonuses or whatever, that to me is like karma. You applied for a job where you knew that you were going to wear a mask and you're going to go in and you're going to disrupt the lives of people who very, very often, and I can't remember where I saw this, but a lot of ICE agents are either well, they're Mexican or from Latin American countries and so on. So it's your own people. You're going after your own people. And some of the videos that I've seen where they have been filmed and talking to others, yes, there is a distinct dialect that they speak. So how could that could be your cousin, that could be your aunt, that could be whatever, and you're willing to go in there and do it for the almighty dollar? Well, yeah. And yes, people are following ICE into restaurants uh, and photographing them when they take their masks off. Yes, there. I saw one video where they vehicle full of ICE showed up at, get this, a Mexican restaurant, and they were just going. Yeah, you can't make this shit up.
no.
And they were going, trying to go in, and people surrounded them and started giving them such a hard time, knocking off their hats, and they were almost ready to physically attack these guys to the point that they got into their vehicle and drove off. So
Yay! Good move on their part. It was time for them to leave.
yes,
I love
exactly.
the American people. I love their resilience. I love the
Yes,
protesters. I love what's
yes,
going on that way. These, all across the country,
yes,
people are just saying, no, I'm not going to put up with this anymore. And it's young people and old people, and they're
yes,
asking them, and they're like, why are you here today? And they're like, hey, I just can't let this pass anymore. I cannot
yes,
stand what I'm seeing. This is inhumane. This is not America. This is not by the law, you know.
yes,
Uh, and so people are fighting back, and they're not necessarily immigrants. They're not immigrants because the immigrants would be in even more trouble. But um,
yes,
no, people across the country are standing up for what they believe in, and they do have a moral compass. They do think that
yes.
there's other
They
things that
they've
they
been
should do.
fired up enough to do something, to do something. And um,
Are we talking about
yeah,
the help here?
yes,
Minnie's chocolate pie, okay.
yes,
Shit
yeah.
the shit
Artist
the
Liz
shit
said
pie, the shit pie.
I would give them a special pie, Minnie's chocolate pie. Yes,
That's funny.
yes, absolutely. So yeah, there's it it it's mind-boggling that the the people. Okay, I would agree that if people are in the country illegally and they have committed a crime, that they should be removed from that country. Okay. That that sounds very fair, right? Um, don't come into my country and commit crimes and think that you're going to get away with it. The people that they are arresting, the people that they are rounding up and putting in these concentration camps, They're not they're not criminals. I
Mm.
haven't I haven't heard of one that has been described. Oh yes, and we took in, um, you know, John Doe, who was convicted of, burglary and murder and so on and so forth and whatnot. You know why? Because the criminals are in jails. Jails make money off of those criminals. So you're not going to get rid of the free labor. That doesn't make any sense. You're going to go after someone who who is seeking asylum, who shows up to all their hearings. Well, you know, they they came here illegally. Most of them didn't. Most of them are following, they have their papers, they've done what the US has asked them to do. So, yeah.
Like the guy with the little 5-year-old boy. He
Yes.
hasn't done anything wrong. And
Yes.
and then they just said, "No." Or they'll look in their past and go, "Oh, well, let's see. You were caught shoplifting in 15, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And you paid your price. You probably you maybe went to jail for a while or whatever, but you did that and nothing has happened since then." And that's really a common one of just, I'm not saying shoplifting, but just
Yeah.
something happened 15, 20, 25 years ago, and they still, they're holding that against people after they have
Yes.
already paid their debts to society. It's just
Exactly.
insane. It's
It is.
disgusting. It's just really disgusting.
It it is. And it was that I remember when oh my gosh, who it could have been Gnome who was being asked.
Only her.
Yeah, yeah, her. Um that um and the person who was asking the question, the Democrat, introduced her to a veteran of the military, who served his country, and his wife, who was a legal immigrant to the US. She was picked up. Why was she picked up? Because 17, 20 years ago, she wrote three bad checks that totaled $72. And yeah, they're going to deport her for that. I oh yeah, she's going to look into that. Yeah, she's going to look into that.
Well, this sure doesn't sound like the criminals that Trump keeps describing. The very
Yeah.
dangerous murderers, rapists, and he should talk. And
Yes.
that these are really bad people, that they're
Yeah.
just, you know, gangbangers. I don't know. I mean, we got a lot of the same kind of people that aren't immigrants. And that
Yes.
and that is a problem also. We've got a
Yeah.
big problem, and it really bothers me that nobody is focusing, and I guess we can't fix it until we get past this mess that we're in. But
Yeah.
there is such a big problem with mental illness and uh, people that are just off their rocker, and this Trump, it just adds to it. I mean, I know he didn't cause that problem, but when you've got a pure person that is not in their right mind and they listen to Trump and they start to
Yes.
follow him around like a little cult, like he's a little cult leader because they think he's funny
Mhm.
and he puts
Yep.
people down and he says terrible things about people. Um, because their mentally ill person is
Yep.
unfiltered. They don't know what they're
Yes.
doing. But we
Yeah.
have a
He
huge,
has
huge
given them
problem.
permission to be the worst, to bring out the worst of themselves.
Yes, that's what he does.
Before,
Yes.
yeah, you wouldn't call someone who was black the N word. Well, he's given them permission that, yeah, you can use that word. That's not a bad word. You could, because that's what those people are. They're eating the cats and dogs. And
I forgot about that one.
yes, yeah. So he's given them permission to say the quiet parts out loud. That's why they support him,
Yeah. Yeah, I
because
agree.
yeah. he makes them think that they are right in their judgments, that they are right in their assessments, that the reason they can't get a job has nothing to do with the fact that they're lazy and, don't want to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and take a public transport to get to a job. No, that's nothing to do with it. It's that some guy named Manuel has taken my job.
Oh, oh,
Yeah.
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 And we're having, well, especially like down in California and in other places where
Yeah.
a lot of these people that came over from Mexico and other
Yeah.
countries that have been working the fields and doing a lot of the jobs that other people don't want to do.
Yes.
They've taken them all away, and so we're having a problem with food.
Yeah.
It's just not
Exactly.
happening. And then the stuff that is happening cost way too much. I was
Yep.
kind of surprised though. I don't know what they've done with Mexico because he was always trying to slap huge tariffs onto them, but we're still getting, like asparagus and
Yeah.
avocados and different things from Mexico, and it hasn't gone up that much. It's gone up like $1 a pound, maybe a
Yeah.
little bit more. So at least that's still happening. But within our own country, I don't know what people how people's businesses are just it's already costing so much. People are going out of business is what's happening.
Yes.
Uh, because they don't have people to work for them that know how to do the job. I mean, a lot of these migrant workers were a necessity, and now we don't have them. They're not out there putting on the roofs anymore. They're not out there helping
Exactly.
with the building. They're not out there helping with the roads, and they're not helping with the farms and all of that
Yeah.
stuff. So, we've got a problem, and so
Exactly.
Trump comes up and lies and says, "Oh, the job market's doing great." And like I said, I just read today, the job market is plummeting. He says
Yes.
the economy is doing wonderful, and uh, that's a lie also. And then I hear some other guy going, "Okay, I don't know who he was, but somebody is supposed to know about the economy." And
Yeah.
he said, "Okay, well, right now, just wait till next year, then you'll see how much better it's doing." I'm thinking,
Ah,
next year? We just started with this year. No, we're not waiting another year to
well,
see things change. Um,
and he said, did he not make the promise? On day one, all these
yeah,
things are going to happen. On day one.
on day one, a lot of
So,
things did happen, but not for the better.
yes. Yeah. So, no, there's, yeah, the jobs that generally, um, migrants, immigrant workers, and so on, the jobs that they take are the jobs that the people who are from that particular community or country are too too good to take, right? I'm not going into a motel room and changing sheets for $2 an hour. Are you crazy? I'm not flushing toilets for that kind of money. Yeah, you won't. But someone from another country who says, well, $2 is better than no dollars, they'll do it. So those are the jobs that immigrants uh, and refugees and so on. Those are the jobs that they will take. So yeah, Bubba doesn't want to go out in the field and pick corn or be picking lettuce or whatever. His back hunched over for 10, 12 hours a day for minimum wage. Oh, F that noise. No way. I'm going to stay home and I can't be bothered to do that.
And
So
so Wild Lilac asks, I think that's what that name is. That's what I'll say it is. Wild Lilac. Will there be a food shortage? I think it's already starting. I think
yes.
there is a food shortage. And what there's not a shortage of, there's people aren't buying it, like, steaks and ground beef and stuff. The price has gone so astronomically high that people
Yes.
just can't afford it.
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely. And I've noticed the the cost of certain items has gone up here as well. Particularly, yeah, items that come south of the border, obviously. Um, but it's yeah, there will be a food shortage because the there's no one there to do the background work. There's no one there who's going to work on tilling the land and on,
Right.
putting down the seeds and all that kind of stuff and doing the weeding and, looking after the animals who's, you want to have a good steak. Well, that's great. Have a good steak, but who's going to look after the the cows and cleaning out the barn and all that,
And
it's a
just when
lot of these people.
the feed for those animals has
Yes.
probably doubled or tripled. I mean, I don't really know, but I mean, it's gone up a lot,
Yeah.
and that's part of the reason why it costs a lot more.
Yes.
Bora Bora said a male I love this. A male brain is generally considered fully developed in the mid to late 20s.
Yeah. Source internet. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, source of the from the internet.
Yeah.
You know,
It's
yeah, it's hard to imagine that a lot of these people working in Trump's administration have fully developed their brains and they're way past their 20s. So, but
no,
yeah,
no.
you know, yeah.
Yeah. There was um one Republican who has spoken out against Trump, and I cannot for the life of me remember his name. But Trump called him a loser, and something else. Anyway, um, as he was as he was leaving his office, the media said, "Hey, apparently Trump called you a loser and said you were useless and whatnot. What do you think about that?" He said, "Oh, great. That now qualifies me um, to be the leader of Homeland Security as well as an advisor in the Trump administration. Tom Tillis, thank you, thank you." Yeah, and I thought, oh man, good for you.
Perfect. I love that.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. Exactly. So listen, we're at almost 55 minutes and yeah, I know that you have to run and my I think I'm going to have that lemon ginger tea. Yeah, that the hot chocolate didn't do anything for
Yeah.
me, so
Yeah, this
there
has
you go.
been lots of fun, but unfortunately, yes,
Yes.
our hour is creeping up on us, and both of us have
Yeah.
stuff we have to do real quick, like so. But we'll be back in 2 weeks again.
Yes, we will.
We
Yes, we will.
depend on the chatters. At least I do. I depend on you for entertainment value because of what you
Yes.
guys have to say is so funny. Um,
Exactly. Yeah. And you know what? We all need a good laugh, right? We all need
yeah.
a good laugh. And that's what we're here to do is to bump each other up and have a good laugh. And Susan Rotella, oh my goodness, thank you so much for that. That is very, very kind and very generous of you. And you know how much I appreciate it. So thank you, thank you. All right, you guys, we shall see you later. But in the meantime, have a good night. And yeah, we'll see you around. Bye for now.